Hello, how are you?
How are you doing? How are you doing?
A quick question.
Guys, just like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm on the phone at 10.
I wanted to ask you, at this point in the negotiations in Congress, why has the president not personally invited the Speaker and the Senate Minority Leader over? Why has he not personally gotten involved?
Do you think that would help? No. He is personally involved, and you know that. He's the President of the United States. He's ready to sign into law relief packages. He was ready last Friday to do a 1-week extension of the $600 benefit, and the Democrats said no. They didn't say no. They think they're saying no to him. They're saying no to America. They're saying no to American job creators, job seekers, and job holders when they say no to the $600 extension. This seems an awful lot like some of the other challenges that we've had with the Democratic congressional leadership in both chambers, because they've been here before. I've sat in the situation with them, the cabinet room, the Oval Office, and Nancy Pelosi leaves in a flourish, a hissy fit, when and stomping out in those stilettos when she doesn't get her way. We can't have this. We need grown-up leadership. There's a reason their approval rating is about 13-15% up in Congress, and they need to work for the American people. If they don't, the president will stand in with executive action. They're always welcome here, but we have found in the past there's never really fruit that's born of that. Because, like I said, I was in the infrastructure meetings. I was in the meeting where they wanted to brief them on what was happening with Syria. I was in the border security meetings. I mean, I'm just a staffer here, and I witnessed that. Imagine if you're the president or the vice president of the United States, and you're trying to reason with people who are unreasonable. We have our eyes on how people are paying their bills in August, September, and October. The Democrats have their eyes on how you're voting in November. It's very different.
Kellyanne, President Trump said that children are immune to COVID-19, Facebook, as you know, Twitter, took the comments down. Putting aside the campaign piece of this, does the president need to be more precise when he's talking about this virus and this?
Well, the president said many things about the virus and kids, including quoting Governor Phil Murphy, Democrat in New Jersey, who informed the president, I think either while he was here in the Oval Office or over dinner at Bedminster, Kristen, that in all of New Jersey, second hardest hit at the peak, second hardest hit state at the peak, only one child under 18, a complete tragedy, God forbid, God rest his or her soul, but only one person that died was under the age of 18. We also see in many of these school districts, parents are saying, I feel safe sending my child back to school. Please open the schools. I think all of that needs to be considered. We also hear from the doctors that I heard early on in one of the task force meetings, quote, youth is a, quote, protective cover. So we heard many things from our own doctors on the task force. There's no question that the average age, I'm told as of yesterday, the average age of a death in this country is still about 73 or 78. I have to go back and check. And that over 40% of those who have died from COVID-19 in this country, Kristen, were in long-term facilities or nursing homes. So we still know that you're more likely to be hospitalized and to die, God forbid, if you are elderly and or you have some of these underlying comorbidities. But Twitter is very selective. Yeah, Ayatollah Khomeini is fine. They still have tweets up at CNN. Joe, I checked this morning, December 10th, 2017. One of your anchors still has a tweet up that on that show that day, Adam Schiff said there is unbelievable evidence of collusion. We're still looking for it. The tweet is still up. The WHO tweeted in January something that I think was the big lie of the year that affected each and every one of us, which is that there's no evidence of human-to-human contact through COVID-19. Are we kidding? And I'm sure the biggest lie of the last 10 years by Obama and Biden, that you can keep your plan, keep your doctor, probably survives in a tweet somewhere. So there's very selective shadow banning, removal of tweets for really the one man who's made Twitter the most popular of all, and who has over 200 million followers on all social media platforms.
I guess the broader question, though, is are you concerned at all, is the White House concerned, is the president concerned about making statements that may not be 100% precise? The president, again, saying that the virus would disappear yesterday. Does he need to clarify those comments?
The president says many things at a given day. He had a whole briefing yesterday on COVID-19. At least he's answering questions. His opponent is hiding. We have no idea why. They want to hide the candidate. They want to hide your ballot. They want to hide the convention. They want to hide the debates. They want to hide whatever's wrong with him. And they want to hide whatever his positions are. At least you have a president who's out there taking your questions in the briefing room. And I know you asked him that and he answered it. Wasia?
Follow up on Kelly's question. Both the president and you, and we understand that you keep talking about...
I'm sorry, who's Kelly?
Kellyanne.
Oh, you said follow up on Kelly's question.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. She's not here.
Obviously, I know.
A lot of names, a lot of cases.
So you guys keep talking about how kids recover better than adults, but immunity is very different, and it's important, I think, because if a parent thinks that their kid is immune and that they couldn't possibly have the disease, then they might not take measures to protect grandma.
There's no evidence that people think that. They've been listening to the president of the task force for months now. For months now, Wasia, they're going to know everything we've told people to do, which is wear a mask, including kids, socially distance, practice hygiene. I was in the Oval Office of the Coronavirus Task Force meeting 2 short days ago when Dr. Fauci went through the 6 things he thinks Americans can do, including children, to, again, slow the spread, mitigate, before we can eradicate through these therapeutics and vaccines, which through the president's Operation Warp Speed are at a pace and a progress level that nobody's ever seen. Dr. Francis Collins has been at NIH for decades and decades. He said he's never seen anything come together like this in the past. So that's great for everyone. That will eradicate it, hopefully one day through a vaccine. Until we get there, we're mitigating it through these measures that Dr. Fauci and others are now saying. They weren't always for masks. They weren't always saying the same things about everything, but we're, I think, all connecting the messaging now. And I think if parents have been listening all along, they will know that we asked people to be in lockdown, including kids not in school, for months and months. But the lockdown benefits Joe Biden and Wilmington. It doesn't benefit most Americans, and it doesn't benefit most kids to be in constant lockdown. We're creating pandemics within pandemics. I know he referred to people who are struggling with drug addiction as junkies yesterday, he being Joe Biden. What an awful insult. And as the person who runs a drug crisis on behalf of the White House and the president here, I feel like, to quote Joe Biden, punching him in the nose, taking him out back behind the building, because insulting people who are struggling with substance misuse disorder rather than trying to help them. You know, we had over 30,000 drug deaths the first year Biden was vice president in this building, and over 63,000 when he left 8 years later. They looked the other way, and the drug crisis got worse and people died, and here he is calling them junkies. So I'm focused on that too, and I'm focused on the pandemic within the pandemic. You have all these school parents saying, I want my kid to go back to school. That has to be considered. We have to consider what the doctors are saying about the likelihood you have of contracting, being hospitalized, perishing from COVID-19 versus not. All of that is important.
Kellyanne, what is the president?
Joe, and then I know I got to get on a call.
Back to the stimulus negotiations.
Yes.
You know, the president's hitting the road today. He's
Yep.
going to Cleveland, then he's going to Bedminster, then he's going to the Hamptons for a fundraiser. If he's so involved in the negotiations, why is he doing all this stuff? And shouldn't he be here?
You're kidding, right? You know, his phone works. You know, Congress wasn't here for months. You're fine. It sounds like with them not working, even though they're funded by the taxpayer, them voting remotely, which had never happened before, totally unnecessary. So they finally show up, and he's not allowed to go to Cleveland to Whirlpool, a company that he helped save. Joe Biden emptied out the factories of jobs and wealth and dignity and industry and innovation. And this president, through a tariff a few years ago on washing machines, helped to create 200 jobs at Whirlpool. And then today we'll be at Whirlpool talking about how imperative it is to develop medical countermeasures and essential medicines here in this country with American hands and American workers, and not outsource that to countries, including those who spread the virus and lie about it. And we also want to bring a lot of that pharmaceutical production back here, and that's what today is about. The president has a couple stops in Ohio. He'll be raising money. Are you suggesting that he should shelter in place in his home the way Joe Biden is, and just raise money from there and just insult African-American journalists, as he's done twice in the last couple of months alone? I'm sure that bothers you. It bothers the hell out of me.
If he's so involved in the negotiations, shouldn't he be here? Because
here at the White House while Nancy Pelosi's on TV anyway? Or, you know, she spent a lot of her time in San Francisco the last few months while we were here working every single day, including weekends. So I don't think, we're not going to compare where the Democratic congressional leaders were since February or March versus where the president has been here 7 days a week in that task force, in that Oval Office, working, and you see the fruits of that, because we have. Pardon?
Why not invite them here just to take the high road? If Pelosi and Schumer don't want to show up, then that's on them.
Yeah, if they want to come here and have a productive conversation, that's great. You guys want them to come here in their fancy clothes and stand right there and talk to you about the deadlock and the roadblocks and the, as I said, and I'll say it again before I walk inside, I'll say it as I'm walking inside. We're about a minute past. That they've been here before. Pelosi's been here for 2 infrastructure meetings,
All right, folks. So the last part, we're going to get a transcript of what Kellyanne Conway said off microphone. I don't know why she answered it off microphone. I guess she was a little late. She went a few minutes over than what she was supposed to. So maybe she's late to a meeting. So again, we will get a transcript of that last little part of her answering the question, and we'll put it in the comments section below so you guys can check it out. And if you guys liked our coverage, make sure you share it on social media, you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you check our previous videos that should be coming up on your screen. President Trump delivered a speech in Ohio at the Whirlpool plant, and also President Trump spoke at a mini rally in Ohio. Now, this looks like it's going to be kind of like a new thing that they're trying out. They're calling it mini rallies. So what happens is that when President Trump lands Air Force One or Marine One in a hangar or at an airport somewhere, he's going to basically kind of like deliver a Trump rally speech to people that are allowed to come in. Now, the sizes are extremely limited because of COVID, but President Trump is going to try to do that to talk to different people, to talk to supporters and patriots in different places. So stay tuned for that. This is the second mini rally that happened. It happened today in Ohio. So we covered it live. And if you missed it, it should be coming up on your screen. I'll also pin it to the top of the comments along with President Trump's speech at Whirlpool in Ohio. So stay tuned. Subscribe if you are new. And if you want to get notified for future live streams, future video uploads, make sure you sign up to our email notification list. And the way to sign up is go to our website, www.goldenstatetimes.com. Again, that's goldenstatetimes.com. Sign up on there. It should be a pop-up or it should be on the top right hand of the website. Make sure you sign up, and then that way you'll get notified every single time. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Peace.